no matter what, you need to know everything. And I learned how to do it my way.
This episode is brought to you by
Hi everyone, welcome to Chat with Nick, and we're here in sunny Los Angeles, and it's such a beautiful day. And right next to me is Jojo Verdeflor of Jo Verte Designs, and now he's the owner of Kubo Restaurant here in historic Filipino town. How are you doing?
I'm good, Nick.
I'm so excited because Jojo is a really good friend of mine, and I'm so excited to hear all about his story. And I can't believe, like, when I walked in his house, I'm like, wow, this is so awesome. It's got cathedral ceilings, and of course, I'm sure that this place didn't come just like that. And like, Jojo has a lot of stories to tell us because I'm sure he's had a lot of challenges, right, Jojo?
Yeah, I've been through a lot, but I'm still here.
Yeah, so how did you start? And you know, we all know that you pretty much got your name out there as a fashion designer.
Well, I started, actually when I first came to America, I worked in a boarding care home. I started in Granada Hills. Then that time, the daughter of the owner of the facility is a fashion merchandiser. So we set up a business together, and we came up with Jo Verte, which is Jojo and Bernadette.
Oh wow.
And the first place that we rented to was the place close to LA Rose Cafe. That's with Lem Balago.
So we'd like to take a special moment to remember Kuya Lem Balagot, the owner of LA Rose. It's a cafe restaurant on Fountain here in Los Angeles, and it's really famous because they do a lot of catering, and they cater to a different clientele than most Filipino restaurants. Going back, how did you get into fashion design?
Well, even in the Philippines, I'm already working as a designer. I graduated BS Biology, but fashion is my passion.
And so how did that start?
I have a cousin who is a designer, and I worked with him until I learned, the in and out of designing, everything, from cutting, from designing, and everything. And then I went to Brunei, worked there for a couple of years, and then when I first came to America, I met this nice lady at Lure, and she gave me the chance to work as a designer together with her daughter. And just like what I've said, the first place that we rented to fulfill the dream of being a designer was the place close to Lem, which she owns actually. So Lem was the first person to give me the opportunity to develop my skills as a designer in his place.
You a caregiver when you started? How
Yes, I am.
Uh-huh.
I have no choice when I first came here but to work.
Uh-huh.
So I work as a caregiver, then the story
What year was that?
in the 1990s.
Uh-huh.
90s, in the 90s.
And you mentioned earlier that you worked in Brunei. Is it
Yeah.
Brunei or Dubai?
Brunei.
You worked in Brunei.
It's close to the Philippines, like an hour.
What did you do over there?
I design.
And so who did you design for?
It's one of the royal family.
Uh-huh. So did they always like order new dresses or
No,
new
I only need
clothes?
to make one every week.
Every week?
Yeah, it's not that difficult, but it's a different lifestyle. It's not my lifestyle, so I need to move.
So what kind of dresses were there like?
It's like their national costume. It's the baju koro.
Uh-huh.
It's like similar to
So is it,
Philippine.
is it for like official?
They used it for official function.
That is so awesome. Like,
Uh-huh.
but when you were in the Philippines, like as a child, did you always like designing dresses, designing clothes?
I used to scribble something when I was a kid, but my dad's dream for me is to be a doctor. But I tried to be one, but when he passed away, I follow my dreams. I follow what I want to do.
Was it like, oh, let me like just do what my dad and my mom wants me to do first, and then I could do whatever I want later in life? Is it
Yeah,
like
I
that?
explained it to my mom, and she understands anyway. It's whatever you want to be, then follow your dreams. That's where I started.
Was
And then
it
I
any, so when you when you went to college, you said you took biology,
Yeah.
right? And you have a bachelor's degree in biology. Like on the side, were you like trying to draw and sketch and hide it from your parents or something like that?
I've done that for a while.
You
And
did.
then and then when I worked with my cousin, that's the time that, I opened myself to the world of fashion.
So your cousin, was he working in Manila or in the province?
No, just in the province. After the province, I went to another country to fulfill my dreams. After another country, I came to America.
So after Brunei, you came
Yeah.
to America.
Mhm.
So was it always California?
It was always been California. I love California. I started in Fountain, and then I ended up in Beverly Hills. That's where the shop, for Jojo Verdeflor shop before. And I work in downtown too.
Did you have relatives here?
I have
in
some relatives in
California?
here, yeah.
So is that why you?
You've
moved?
seen them during my birthday. They were there at the
Yeah.
Kubo. Yeah.
So
They were so
was
supportive.
it because you knew someone here? That's why you moved here, or how did?
No, there's no plan.
You just
when you-
decided to move one
Yeah,
day.
when you're young, you just decided you just need to do whatever opportunities that knocks on your door.
So what was that like? Given that well, you had relatives, but you didn't know a lot of people, right? And you had to take on a job that you really.
Actually,
wasn't-
I have relatives, but it's always like nice to start on your own.
Mhm.
I don't want to depend my life on my relatives, so I need to work and find, my way to go wherever I want to go.
And so your employers, when you were doing when you were a caregiver, was the daughter a fashion designer already?
A
at
fashion
that point?
merchandiser.
Okay.
Uh-huh. That's why we made the business together.
So what does a fashion merchandiser do compared to a fashion designer?
No, actually, like I was the one designing, and she was the one doing all this stuff. Even the marketing and all this stuff.
Mhm.
She's the one who's doing all those stuff, and I just concentrate myself on designing. And besides that one, I also design in downtown in the garment industry.
Mhm.
So it's like a hectic schedule for me.
So what was that like? Like, so for people like me, and I'm sure a lot of people don't know the ins and outs of fashion design or the fashion industry. What is that like? So you got into fashion designing in the fashion world, especially in downtown LA.
When I first started in downtown, the garment industry, it's really a different kind of, it's really different from what I've learned in the Philippines. In here, you need to start from the designing, and you need to do your own pattern. The company where I work for, I need to do my own pattern. I need to do, I have somebody who's doing the sample for me, who's cutting the sample for me. And we're doing the final design, we do the grading and the marking, and then we do the production.
Mhm.
So we specialize in boutique clothing. So it's not really that, we have like 100 pieces for each design actually.
Oh, so it's not really like haute couture? Or
It's not couture, it's more of,
ready to wear?
it's more of RTW. That's how I started.
And so for people like me, let's say I want to get into fashion designer, I have sketches and stuff like that, what would you say would be like the entry level job that I could get into?
Actually, because I really doesn't started as a designer. I never studied to be a designer, but I studied being designing and pattern making. That's what I learned from before. Now, as a designer, you need to undergo a lot of stuff. Based on the people that I'm working with, they go to FIDM, they go to some fashion school. But I started widow. I don't know the word that I'm getting into. But I learned my stuff directly, I do it myself.
On the job.
I need to, on the job.
Would you say like you have to know how to sew no matter what?
No matter what, you need to know everything. How you're going to have the sleeve is very important to me. Because you know how you do the sleeve and everything. You need to learn everything about fashion. And I learned how to do it my way.
Mhm.
Because I don't want to be left behind. I want to, push myself farther. That's why I need to learn everything from pattern making, and then from doing the samples too. I always do it myself before I give it to my cutter and you know, the sample maker. I need to learn it. I need to have it, from the mannequin, how it will look like, and how am I going to do it. I try to do it with paper, to do it with fabric, everything.
So how would you pass on that information? So, you have all these ideas in your head, right? You have like all these grand ideas of some design that you want to do, and you have it on your mannequin. How would you pass on that vision, that information in your brain? Like,
God,
you
honestly,
just design.
I'm very hard to please, and I always do things last minute. So it's different. Like, I do it myself first before I introduce it to them. This is what you're going to do. I want it this way. Do it this way. So my seamstress, she's been with me for almost 30 years. And she knows already,
Wow.
the lady who came to cook all the time, that's why she knows already the way I work. That's why it's
How do
easy
you,
for me now.
so you said like your seamstress worked for you for 30 years. How do you build that trust and,
Oh my
that,
God. We're like mom and
that
son.
bond?
Yeah, it's not really. We started like she pleases me, and I please her. Like, Dita, this is what I wanna do. Please do this the way I wanna do. Because sometimes there are people that you explain already everything, and still it's a mess. But with the people I work with, we're good. In my team.
And so how long were you in that shop on Fountain?
Well, with Equal, I stayed for almost 10 years. Until they moved to New York. I have an offer to go with them, but because of love, I stayed. And it's not really a regret. I learned how to, it's just like learning how to deal with your life because you let go of one thing. Let's say it this way. Don't put love life and your career together because you always need to choose. And I choose, like sometimes it's the wrong choice, but you will only realize it when you get into that kind of situation and after you get into that kind of situation.
So would you say like it's better to fall in love with someone who's similar or you're in the same industry?
No, we're in a different industry, but you need to adjust together to balance your life together too. And it's just like I let go of one thing, my career, because of love. And I don't know, but that time maybe it's the right decision, but looking back and talking about it now, I believe I should have do the other way, career before love. But I have no regret. It's like a formative years in fashion and career that I easily fall in love. That's why. I don't know. I don't even look back about 27 years. I'm looking forward for more years with another person maybe.
Oh wow, that's something to look forward to. we're getting our first dibs.
I feel nervous now.
And so,
Nick is like making me open something.
and so like going back to fashion design, how did you get into designing for people in the fashion industry in LA, in downtown?
At first, I was exposed to, to Filipinos who used to go to our shop in Fountain and Beverly Hills. We have a lot of clientele. All the grand affairs in LA before, there used to be a lot of, couture fashion during those times that I started in LA. There's a lot of big events and they use like couture gowns and everything. The price, they usually, we are compensated with good prices
Really?
and
So
good designs before.
how much would a dress like a
Debutante.
gown, evening gown cost? And
They have
ask you, like,
they have high regards of fashion before in LA. No RTWs during those times. All the big Santa Cruzan, all the big Sagalas, all the Ribu in LA. There's a lot of those 1990s. A lot of big parties in LA. I don't choose my clientele, but it's all clientele who wants the best thing for their family, for their daughter's debut, for their daughter's wedding, for mama's 50th wedding and all this stuff. I experienced all those grand couture gowns for LA.
So did you ever like design like high fashion
We do.
clothing, like clothes that are out there? So we see like these fashion shows in New York, and like all the clothes are like, wow, would you ever wear those clothes?
Yeah.
In real life.
Yeah, I have some of those people. There's some picture over there.
Mhm.
Yeah, I used to design a lot of stuff. Uh, it's different here in the salon, in the shop in Beverly Hills. It's all made to order, and the one in downtown is all RTWs. But we still do the best of the best because we cater to like pageant people, interview dresses for Miss USA, Miss America, all this stuff, all the bling blings. I started all the bling blings now.
Mhm.
I've been there, done that.
In this stage in your life, so you were like an active fashion designer, and like what made you transition into being a restaurant owner?
I just want some other stuff to do. I want to reposition myself just in case I stop there, then I can do another things for me. So that's how I'm doing now.
So what would you say is more satisfying, being a fashion designer or a restaurant owner?
I've been into fashion designing for years, and then I already proven myself, so I'm good enough. And then now, I'm trying to a restaurateur. Um, it's been my dreams too. I love people. I love to be around people, so I'm good.
So when you were in the Philippines, did you have some kind of inclination that you were going to work with food and food service?
Not really, but I used to experiment with food. My grandma cook a lot of good foods. We are like the family is like we have a lot of good food in the house. That's why we're always the family. There's always like a fiesta.
So
I know the taste of food.
What kinds of dishes did your grandma make?
Oh, like the menudo, the dinuguan, everything that we have, even lechon, all this stuff.
Any special dishes from your region?
I want the higado, the Bicol higado.
You mentioned Bicol, and we all know like Bicol has a lot of coconut trees in the region,
Yeah.
and a lot of their dishes have coconut milk or coconut cream integrated in the dishes, and also like a lot of chili. So do you like spicy food?
Yeah. I don't like spicy food. I go into a like moderation when it comes to hot foods like chili, but I love the gata. I cook laing. I cook Bicol Express. I cook the kinunot.
What is that?
Kinunot is like the stingray that you put vinegar and gata.
Stingray?
Yeah, stingray, or you can use the what do you call the pating? The shark, the little shark, the baby shark. Yeah.
Wow, that's
They-
something that we
That's they
ought to
call-
look forward to, because I've never had stingray or shark in my entire life.
And I also cook. I started to cook they call it tinumtuman in Bicol. It's a bamboo shoots cooked in garlic and gata, coconut.
So are we going to be seeing those dishes in Cubo
Yeah, I
sometime?
started with those at Baikubo, and they love it.
Mm.
It's just like I don't have the time to cook all the time.
So speaking of Cubo, what kinds of experiences have you had like since when you started with Cubo? Because we know a lot of different people come, right? And so
Yeah.
what kinds of stories can you share with us?
About having all those people. I have a lot of friends, and they like introduce Kubo to their friends too. So now we're having like people, it's like, okay, Kubo is good, music Kubo and all this stuff. Yeah. We're just trying to please everyone.
Mhm.
And we're trying to be like, everyone is like a relative. Tita, come down. Just like,
The most recent months, I've hung out at Cubo every now and then, and so I see this community of people that I've never met here in LA, that I've only met at Cubo, and there's a community there of people who hang out every once in a while and it's become family, right?
yeah,
And there's
family
like
and friends and enemy.
and then there's like this thing that we call the Marites Corner that's happening at Cubo.
It's actually we don't care about, those chismes. It's not odd. They come to Cuba, and then we just don't mind it now.
Yeah, I mean, so there's like a lot of information coming in and
I
out,
know.
right? So it's
Yeah.
kind of like from what I see, like Cubo's kind of like the conduit of like the communities, like one of these centers for Filipinos here in historic
Yeah,
Filipino
we're becoming
town.
like a landmark, for
Yeah.
people to come down all the time. And I love it. At least Filipino knows Filipinos at Kubo.
Mhm.
So it's just like,
How has it added to your life here in LA, that owning Kubo now?
it's a diverse, Kubo is a diverse community of Filipinos.
Mhm.
There are Filipinos from out of state who come to eat at Kubo. We have students from UCLA, USC who comes to Kubo. So it's like, Kuya, can you teach us how to cook this, to cook that? Maybe you can present a class where you cook this lumpia, you already cook that. That's what we're planning to do it one day.
And I know you've been involved with some events in the past. You've had your own pageant, right?
Mhm.
So what is that called?
We still have Continental Miss Philippines America, and we're planning to do it next year. But what we're going to do is the May Festival, which is like as a gala. We'll give chance to all these young girls, young ladies, to present themselves in the community wearing a couture gown,
Mhm.
and we're having like a fiesta to present all like a Filipino culture. We're trying to put everything together, make you're one of them, so that we can introduce it to the community. Like Filipinos knows Filipino, the culture is what we'll learn from what we are going to do next.
Mhm. So what is it about? Because in the Filipino community, especially here in Los Angeles, we have tons of events, like every single week, Friday, Saturday, Sunday,
Sunday.
and even starting on a Thursday, we have so many events. So what is it about the culture, the Filipino American culture in LA, that makes it want to do so many events? Like, what's your take on that?
We need to do something that will make the community, as one.
Mhm.
Instead, like, there's an event there, there's another event there, like a lot of things. Like before, it doesn't happen. Every event in LA on the 90s are like one big event. Now it's all like one place, another place, they all have event at the same time. So maybe we need to rethink and rebuild the community in LA and put like a biennial spirit where we can be all together in one project. I think that's the best thing to do. We have another project like the Parole Festival of the Filipino community with Ms. Cecil Ramos. So that's a good event too. The parole making contest. The kids here who grows up here, they will learn about the culture, about making of the parole and all this stuff. So I think that's one good event too.
And so you mentioned kids learning about like our culture here, especially the Filipino Americans here in LA. So what would your advice be for the young Jojo Verdeflor?
The young me,
Yeah.
what's my advice? Always follow what you want to do in life. Always like do things the positive way, because sometimes we go to the other side and it's not really that good. So going back, if I will be young again, it will be a different path. But I'll still be a designer, and I still have people, and I still have a lot of friends, and I still have people.
And what would you say, like you learned from your parents, like your mom, your dad, your grandparents? What is it that stands out from the time when they were around? Like, what is it that you learned from them?
Like families are families, before. Like we stand as one, right? We go to church as one, we go eat as one, and we solve problems as one. That's how we do it before. We don't decide on our own. We always have the family in our back, right? That's how we do it before. Now we decide on our own. I think I'm more happy having the family behind me. In every aspirations, in every dreams, I think we always need to put our family first, because that's the foundation of how we are going to walk through life. I think that's one thing that I've learned, growing up. And one thing more. Once you say something, you cannot take it back. So we need to be very careful. And with friends will always be friends no matter what. No matter how, because they already marked something in our life. They make something, that make us realize how we are going to move forward. So friends will always be friends with me. They've been part of my life, and I've been part of their life. But I always think of it as a positive way. I never think about negative things about some other people. So it's a wrong notion if I'll be like, judged based on something that is not true.
And what would you say was your fondest memory or achievement so far?
There's a lot of things, but it's the one thing is like until now we are moving forward. So that's it.
So ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Jojo Verdeflor of Kubo.
Thank you, Mick. Thank you for having me. And thank you for eating the food.
Yeah, oh my gosh, thank you so much for my awesome lunch. I really enjoyed my lunch. And so Jojo is actually a really good cook too. I invite all of you to come over at Kubo Restaurant. It's at
2330 West Temple Street, Los Angeles, 90026. Punta
right,
po kayo at bisitahin nyo kami.
yes, and it's right in the heart of historic Filipino town. So come on over. And thank you so much for being with us this afternoon. And thank you so much,
Thank
Jojo.
you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, and we'll see you soon. Bye.
Time to shine, time to shine, shine bright, be the star you are, yeah. Time to shine, shine bright, be the star you are, yeah.
Don't miss out. Want to be seen? Want to be heard? Want lots of exposure? Ask us how.